What's up, chosen ones? How are you doing? Happy Monday. How was your weekend? I hope it was a good one. All right. Why narcissists enter your life? Why do they seem to enter and exit your life during trying times? During times of transition? Why is it that when you look back, it seems like whenever you were actually going through something, they came into your life, and when you were going through something, that's when they chose to discard you, right? Well, here's my theory. Now, y'all remember, and I'm looking at some notes. I wrote a lot of notes, so if I'm doing a lot of this, just bear with me, all right? But I was thinking about when Jesus got tempted. He got tempted in the wilderness. Now, here's what's up with that, though. Because I believe that you and I, we're chosen ones. I believe that. I know it to be true. Okay? And with being a chosen one, you're going to face a lot of spiritual battles. You're going to face spiritual attacks that are personally tailored to get you. Okay? Because you have something to do. You have a mission here. All right? So, when Jesus was in the wilderness, he got tempted by Satan, right? The one where Satan was like, I'll show you all these places. You can rule over all of them. And Jesus said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God, right? Why did that happen? Why did it happen then? Why did it happen in that place? Why did it happen to Jesus, right? This is what happened. So, I wrote this down because I studied it for you guys and myself. But whenever you hear about the wilderness in the Bible, whenever you hear about the wilderness, I learned that the wilderness equals... Now, first of all, let's backtrack. What was Jesus doing when he got attacked by Satan? Because that was an attack. When he got attacked and tempted by Satan in the wilderness, what was Jesus doing? He was fasting. Why was he fasting? To get closer to God, right? And the fact that he wanted to get closer to the Father, right? By fasting, by one of the most sacred things you can do for your spirit, to feed your spirit, to feed your soul, okay, is to fast. And because he had to separate himself from his friends, what does that mean? Isolation. Separation equals isolation. Okay, write that down. Pause this video and write separation equals isolation. The devil needs isolation. He needs you to not have any backup behind you. He needs you to not have any friends, any family, none of that. Okay? That's part of the reason why the narcissist doesn't like you to be around your friends or family. The ones who love you, they try to get rid of. Okay? But he was in isolation. So that being alone, where you're vulnerable to anything outside of yourself, that's when he chooses to attack you. That's why he chose to attack Jesus in the wilderness. Now, I did a study on the wilderness and where Jesus was, and let me read it. When Jesus was in the wilderness, he was attacked by the devil because what? The wilderness in the Bible, whenever you hear the wilderness, and you heard it when Moses was with the Jews in the wilderness, right? The wilderness is symbolic of a place for spiritual struggle. Pause it and write this down. Wilderness is symbolic of a place for spiritual struggle. You might be in your own wilderness right now. You might have been in the wilderness when you were when you met that narcissist. I bet, and I guarantee you, and we already know that all of us were in the wilderness when we were discarded. Except when we were discarded, the wilderness was that of the narc's creation. Okay? Now, back to Jesus being in the wilderness. What does that tell you about, like, the wilderness? Well, Jesus was in a place, and this is so interesting. He was in a place called, now, this place still exists, called Mount Quarantania, or you can call it Quarantania. Now, I don't know how that's pronounced, but it's Quarantania. And that place, Mount Quarantania, or Quarantania, is a place near Jericho known as the place where Jesus was tempted. Okay? It's known as the place where Jesus was tempted. Now, this popped into my mind. I want you to write this down. All temptations happen in the wilderness. I'll repeat it. All temptations happen in the wilderness. And what's the wilderness that we just learned? We just learned that the wilderness is a place of what? Look at your notes. Spiritual struggle. Okay? If you've been feeling spiritual struggle right now, if you have a relative or someone that you know going through a spiritual struggle, I guarantee you, when they say that saying, when it rains, it pours, that's basically what they're saying. Then they think that when it rains, it pours, but what they're really saying without even knowing it subconsciously is when something's already in transition going bad, okay? Or just in transition where it's up in the air, it seems like a bunch of stuff starts flooding in to interfere with that, to interfere with your thinking, to interfere with your spiritual self, right? All of that starts coming under fire whenever something really serious is in transition in your life, okay? Or in the lives of people that you watch. You're like, damn, you just got out of a shitty relationship. How you meet that new piece of shit? You know another one? You know, that's because that other one met them in a place of spiritual struggle. The devil will send. The devil loves to send narcissistic people, entities wrapped in flesh, called people, into your life when you are in the wilderness, okay? One of the ways that you will know this, right? I wrote down some of the things that that you would transition through where you will be met with a narc, okay? So oftentimes, you'll meet a narc when you're jobless. When you just lost your job, you might meet that narcissist. When you have a new baby, you might already be in a relationship with the narcissist. This is what I mean by they'll discard you through a transition. And it's usually a transition that they caused. It's usually a spiritual wilderness. The discard. Okay, so here we go. I know I'm talking all over the place, but just stick with me, okay? You meet the narcissist, usually. The narcissist, you didn't just meet them, by the way. Let's stop saying we met. You were sent. The devil specifically assigned that narcissist to you to approach you in a time where you were in transition somewhere. Okay, I have a whole nother video on that. But they approached you in a time where you were in the middle of something. You were in the middle of maybe the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. You were about to graduate from college. You just moved into a new apartment. You just got this new job. You just bought your first house. You just got this new car. You actually recently broke up with someone. You know what I'm saying? You recently broke up with someone, as in recent could be like a year. A year could go by and you've broken up with someone, but you were actually taking the time to heal. You just kind of started to get over that. And here they come. Ooh, that's not coincidence. You were sent them. They were sent to you by the devil, okay? That's legitimate. Satan sent them to you to meet you in a place of some form of spiritual, emotional, mental, psychological transition. All right. Now, here's where it not paralyzes, but Freudian slip. If you know what that is, you know. Look it up if you don't. But here's where it parallels the discard. Okay. Now, the discard happens where transitions of that narcissist's doing and making in your life are going on. I.e., the job loss, not the job gain. Y'all had a new baby together, okay? Maybe what they have done with your finances or with y'all's finances has caused you to be homeless or to have no choice but to downgrade in your quality of living. You went from a house in, the Hollywood Hills. I don't know why I pick Hollywood. Hollywood's evil. But let's say in the burbs, you went from a multi-million-dollar house to a trailer park. No shade on trailer parks. Some of the trailers that I've seen are really gorgeous. But you know what I'm saying. But you didn't start there. Actually, where you started was higher than where they left you. Okay? The death of a close family member or friend. you will notice that they will leave you when someone dies. Oh, my mom died, my dad died, my sister, my best friend, my da-da-da-da, my dog died. They're like, bye, bitch. They love leaving you and enter the way they entered, which is in a moment of transition. Okay? Like I said, but when they leave you, it'll be a transition that they cause to happen. All right? So as far as Jesus, even Jesus being met in the wilderness, and the wilderness being symbolic of spiritual struggle, and that wilderness happening in a place that's known for demonic activity, that mountain that I told you about, Mount Quarantania, yeah, that mountain was known for a place, being surrounded by a place where demonic activity has been happening, and it's still said that it happens there. While I'm recording this, I wish you could see it. There's a gigantic fruit fly just bothering me, like around my notes. That's probably a monitoring spirit. I will kill him soon. Anyway, I wanted to touch base with you guys on that because something happened to me recently. And let me just let you know something about yourself. When these things happen to you, please don't beat yourself up. Please don't let other people beat you up by being like, how come you ain't know they were going to be a narc? How come you ain't see this stuff? Fuck them. If someone says that to you, don't talk to them anymore. The reason why these things happen to you lets you know something. So I want you to start taking what is happening to you as a sign of where you are energetically, okay? Rather than this bad thing happen. So energetically, when something happens to you, it lets you know, hey, all right, this is attracted into my life because right now, circumstances are causing me to vibrate on a lower level. And when I vibrate on a lower level, like when Jesus was in the wilderness, he was tired. He was hungry because he was on a 40-day fast. How many of you can literally manage not eating or drinking for 40 days? And you ain't mad? You ain't tired? You're not delusional? You're not hallucinating? Yeah. Satan made sure to meet him when he was in the middle of a transition. He was tired. Usually, this shit happens to you when you're tired and hungry. In my situation recently, over the weekend, over the past 2 weeks, I was incredibly tired because the past 2 weeks has run my body and my mind and emotions into the ground. I mean, for whatever reason, I got overly busy or whatever, and this is the time that my drug dealing ass lesbian dyke neighbor, she literally is a drug dealing lesbian dyke neighbor, decided that she was going to start routing her mail to my mailbox. Okay, she knows I don't fucking like her. She knows that. I've said it. Okay, it's not like she has to guess. All right, so why route your shit to my mailbox? It's to force entry. Sometimes Satan will do things to force entry, i.e. cue the narc coming into your life. Oh, let me get you to start a sexual relationship with this person that you just met that you think is great so that I can force my entry into your life, into your spirit, right? Exactly. And I addressed it by going to the office, letting them know what the fuck is going on, writing letters to the appropriate people. And when her mail kept coming to my home, packages, not mail, packages per se, right? That could threaten me and my family's well-being, I turned them shits into the office. And exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. It happened yesterday. Yesterday's Sunday, baby. I'm in the Jesus' day. Well, every day is Jesus' day, but come on, man, Sunday. So on Sunday, here comes this bitch. Here comes the drug dealing neighbor who is a dyke or whatever. And she's like knocking on my door. Now she knows that she's not supposed to ever talk to me, let alone put her monkey fingertips on my motherfucking door. Her monkey knuckles, right? On my door. I'm like, man, I know it's not this raggedy bitch. So I talked to her through the door. I said, what do you want, nigga? What do you want? And she's like, I just want my packages. I opened the door. I was like, bitch, I don't have your packages. Not only do I not have your packages, but I'm intuitive as fuck and I already anticipated your coming. And since I already anticipated your coming, I put your shit in the office so that you can't. And I let them know, by the way, that your shit's not supposed to be coming here. Not only did I let them know that your shit's not supposed to be coming here, I let them know so that all you can do is get it from there so you can't accuse me of stealing and you have no reason to come here again. And she's like, you ain't got to act like that. My elderly neighbor, who's a bitch as well, across the hall from me, who's affiliated with her and buys drugs from her too, opened her door to look as a spectator of the conversation. I slammed the door in both of them bitches' faces. Now, did I exercise patience and virtue? No. Did I slam the door in both of them raggedy bitches' faces because I'm not about the bullshit and told them both, fuck yourselves? Yeah, I did. I did. Did I go to sleep feeling good about it? Absolutely. All right. But what I won't do again and what I learned from it is I should have never opened the door to begin with. Okay? And and because I was tired, like Jesus was tired and overworked mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that's when I got attacked on a Sunday while cooking dinner for my children by a drug dealer. Okay? That lives one door down from me on my floor. Why did that happen on that day like that? But because why did it happen when Jesus was getting closer to God? Because while he was getting closer to God, he sacrificed something. He sacrificed himself, like I sacrificed myself for my kids the past 2 weeks, really heavily, and was tired. And he thought, here's a good time to slip in a Mickey. All right? Anyway, but it taught me that I shouldn't have opened the door in the first place. It also gave me a hint as to where my vibration was vibrating. And it must have been vibrating low, because if you're not low, meaning tired or any of that stuff, the devil can't touch you. Now, he can't touch you anyway if you're saved. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he usually picks points of exhaustion to attack you. I just wanted to share that story with you guys and share my findings with you guys in this sporadic way, which I hope you made it to the end of this video. But I love you. So just know, if you're getting attacked, it's because you are spiritually important, baby. The devil doesn't attack anyone who's not important, because people that are unimportant are already attacking themselves. And you're not. I love you, chosen one, and I want you to have a most wonderful week. And pay attention to the way people treat you. It will let you know how low or high or low you are vibrating, and it will allow you the information that you need to adjust it by getting closer to God. All right, love you, bye.